Hi Taurus, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing the general messages for the 17th to the 23rd having to do with career / money and love. I'm going to start with career / money, and that's for any money that you make from a job that you do or money that comes to you from another source, whether it's your partner's money, some sort of insurance payout, legal settlement, inheritance, anything like that. Then I'm going to be doing love, a spread for you, a spread for an energy that you're dealing with. I'm going to timestamp for those below in the description box if you don't want to hang out for the first section of money / career. I started with relationships last time. This time I'm going to start with the money and career, just to play it fair. So I hope you guys are doing great today. Let's pull some crowning energies for you to get started. We do have this Uranus and Mars conjunction in you, my friends. First house of self, right? It's going to be exact 6 degrees on the 19th into the 20th with Black Moon Lilith involved. That is no joke, that energy. Lots of big changes for those of you who, wherever your Taurus is. So if you're a Taurus sun, what you're feeling energetically in your ego consciousness. Some of you, if you're a Taurus rising, you could be sort of feeling this in like the everyday of your life. Taurus moons, those of you feeling this, those of you are going to be feeling it in your emotional space, right? For sure. As far as your Venus goes, how you're dealing with relationships, this is going to be some revolutionary shakeups going on there that are actually quite necessary. They really are. And I know that's hard to like, what do you mean by that? But there are. Now, having to do with career, you guys, this is going to be like a big year for you, Taurus, right? It really is. Those of you who've been paying attention, pride. So we do, this is the first crowning energy. We have pride. Let's see what else we get. So having to do with this great conjunction, first of all, we're going to have Pluto conjunct the Sun in Capricorn on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for you guys in your 9th house of belief systems, right? And your moral code, your moral compass, higher education, travel, all of that, right? It's going to be transiting on Wednesday. It's going to be transiting into Aquarius. That's going to be happening in your 10th house of career and reputation, right? So there's going to be a lot of focus on the idea of 10th house stuff having to do with your career. Now, at the same time, which I think is really good, and let's focus on the good, and during this crazy time, we have Chiron's going to be in your 11th house of gains and goals and wishes. Chiron's all about healing. It's looking at what's not working in order to heal it, right? That's going to be trining, which is really nice. We like trines. There's an easy energy, the karmic nodes. And the nodal axis for you guys is your 8th and 2nd house, right? So you're going to be asked to, you're going to be getting a gift in that 2nd house of money, right? And the release is going to be in that 8th house of 8th house has to do with your partner's money. 8th house has to do with money that you get from work or situations that you don't actually do yourself, like having to do with investments, insurance payouts, legal settlements, you know, anything like that. So there can be a release there, but it's like the gain is going to be in that 2nd house of resources for you. So there's going to be a lot of energy that, even though it's going to be challenging for you, there's going to be a lot of positive stuff at play underneath it all. So I do want to just say that as a little like, you know, breathe if you're not feeling like things, if you feel like things are in kind of a weird space. We look at this, we had serendipity and pride. So very beautiful. Serendipity means everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to when things seem like, oh my gosh, that's so strange that that job offer came in, or can you believe this? I can't believe that this person called me to offer this, or called to settle this thing, or whatever it is. So something serendipitous is happening for you, but make sure that you don't get in your own way with the pride, because the pride might be, you know, be careful that you think you could have better, do better, whatever. And this is completely having to do with career or money, right? Because everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to be happening. So we have Jupiter, which is all about luck and expansion. We do love that. Jupiter is a very benefic energy. It's about taking a chance. Think Wheel of Fortune, taking a chance and having it go well. Cancer. Cancer does represent the idea of the physical home, right? Because Cancer is the 4th house of home, or feeling at home in something going on with home. So if you're doing any sort of financial transaction that has to do with home, it does look like that things are going to be going very positively for you. We have the 1st house, the house of self, which is where all the action is going to be happening for you guys this week. When we talk about the house of self, and I feel like this is especially strong for Taurus rising. Because if you're a Taurus sun, unless you're one of those energies where you're Taurus sun and Taurus rising, but especially for Taurus rising, that is your house of self, right? That is your house of self. There's going to be a lot going on there for you guys as far as really big changes in where you're going. Because Mars is that path that you're supposed to be on, and Uranus is like, okay, let's shake it up. Let's throw in some shocking changes, and let's look at what you don't want to look at so that you can end up on that path that you're meant to be on. Sagittarius, beautiful. Voyager, right? Sagittarius is a south node. This is where the release has to be happening from you. Sagittarius is the ruler of the 9th house. So that's going to be, the energies are going to be hanging out in your 9th house for the beginning of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday anyway. But I do like this because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, moving forward with integrity. So you're moving forward in something. Something is like, I feel like almost like there's this, I was going to say tectonic shift. Does that even make sense? Underneath you right now. You guys might feel it happening. If you feel, do you feel something boiling up, something bubbling up, something about to happen? Okay, something about to happen. We have time, we have Mars. So the way these working these are, this is the current situation, this is the block, this is the advice, and this is the outcome. I'm going to pull them up as we're going because I know you can't really see them too clearly from there. So this is the Lenormand deck. They're different from Tarot, but I do like mixing them because I get different messages from them. It's a different system. Okay. So time is, you feel like time is an issue here for you. Issue, situation, you're aware of it. Let's see what we have. 8 of Cups, yep. Oh, it's pretty direct. Okay. What's the block? Okay. Okay. It's good. We got clarity. Clarity is the last. So that's good. So if you're feeling confused, I feel like something's going to be going on as, you know, as a result of all this energy that's at least going to bring you clarity to a situation. So we have time here in Lenormand. Is first being clarified by the 8 of Cups, which is about moving away from something, withdrawing, retreating, moving on, abandoning a situation, leaving a job, making a decision to not study that thing anymore, making a job to abandon a strategy in how you were maybe trying to sell something. It's leaving something and adopting something else, because we go from the 8 of Cups, which is leaving something, and clarifying that is the Ace of Cups, which indicates a new offer coming in, some sort of new proposal. So something is being abandoned. So there's a swapping out of energies here. And this is really good. The Strength energy is really good. This is about... well, it's a number of things. Okay, for some of you, this can be making a decision to start a new job that really resonates in a way. It's something that you really love to do. Some of you, that this Ace of Cups could be the decision to start your own business. Strength energy, Strength card is Leo energy. Leo is the 5th house of fun, but it's also creativity. So I always look to the 5th house for entrepreneurial endeavors. So you might be deciding that you want to develop, so maybe you're already in business for yourself, but you're deciding on furthering the development of an additional path or an additional track to add on to what it is that you're doing. That's going to resonate for some of you, but you may need some time to do that. Okay, you may need some time. But it's like leaving what it is exactly that you're doing now and at least augmenting it, if not changing altogether. So that's how some of you guys are going to be handling this. Others of you, leaving something that you don't love, getting into something that you do love. Some of you might be going into business with your children, okay? Because Leo's the 5th house has to do with children as well. Obviously, your adult children, I'd imagine, or getting into work that involves children. But this is about really focusing on what it is that you love to do because you love to do it, right? The Strength, it's about self-love, unconditional love, really respecting yourself and being very brave in the face of something that might seem to other people a little scary, but you approaching it from sort of a very sort of brave perspective. But again, this leaving a situation and getting into, so this could also be a really good negotiation energy, the Ace of Cups and the Strength card as well. So if you are ending the way you were trying to sell something and sort of revamping your strategy, really good energy for that as well. So we have for your block, the first one up is Mars. So the sexy Mars man, right, in the Lenormand. So this is you're feeling very blocked about how you're going to actually proceed with something into the future. So you might feel like you kind of feel an echoing of what you want to do, but you may be blocked in actually executing it because, right, the glyph around his neck there is Mars, and Mars is all about a fresh path, a new perspective, where it is that you want to go. You feel the change, but you're feeling blocked on actually making this decision, either with a business partner or within yourself, because the Lover's energy does mean you have to make a decision. There's a choice here, and you're feeling very blocked in what it is exactly, specifically what it is that you want to do. So again, this could have to do with, the Lover's energy is Gemini. So Gemini is the two sides of, it's the twin energy, right? And we all have twins internal. We all have Gemini in ourselves. So you could be very blocked in kind of having this internal argument with yourself. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do? Or literally with maybe a business partner, or making the change, deciding on what to do, deciding with a partner. You know, like if you're married and you want to sell all of your belongings and you know, go to Fiji and open up a bed and breakfast, right? Obviously, this is going to be something that you're going to have to engage your partner in making a decision with you with, right? So different ways that it can end up happening. But you know, it's interesting because I do feel like, see, it's so funny, we have this 10 and then this ace here. As far as your block, you're kind of blocked in the ending of something. You're needing to leave something, but you're feeling very blocked by the stress and the exhaustion and the burden of it all, as that's what the 10 of Wands is. It's feeling very overwhelmed. So it's like the element of overwhelm. And this could even be like, you have in your mind's eye what it is that you want to do, but put it like very pragmatically, like in the 3D, what needs to transpire in order to make that idea, that vision in your mind's eye happen, can be very overwhelming right now. So you might be struggling, just saying, you might be struggling with a little analysis paralysis. Because the block here is, we have the Ace of Coins, so this could be, you might be blocked having to do with some bringing this new income in. You might be blocked in making that new investment, getting that promotion, getting that raise, getting that new job. You may be feeling very blocked, and it's like you can't see the other side of it. I feel like there's a lot of fear that's involved here, but let's go to the advice. So the advice here, we first have the clouds and then the sun. So the advice here is understand that it's not going to be easy initially, but the work is going to pay off. It absolutely is. But you have to pay attention to how you're really feeling. The advice here is to not shove your feelings under the carpet and to not ignore anything. We have, okay, I like this as an advice card because the 5 of Cups, this tells me that you're very focused on feeling the sense of loss and regret, grief, feeling unsupported, feeling kind of alone in a situation, because you're very focused on the 3 cups that have spilt and you're not focusing on the 2 cups that are still standing, which is your abilities, your self-worth, your capabilities, the value in the situation. You have to pay attention to the goodness in something and try not to focus on the negativity of something. Now, you know, keeping it real, some of you, if this 8 of Cups happens to do with walking away from some sort of marriage or some sort of where there was this connection and it's been this need for, you know, starting over, you know, really trying to be brave. There could be some challenge in the release of that, challenge in the ending of that, you know, challenge in something not working out, right? And so you could be very focused on the sadness of a situation not working out, right? But the advice here is to understand that that's part of the process. Because the advice here is you have to understand part of the process is to go through the challenge in order to get to the other side. So Let yourself hurt. If you're hurting over something, let yourself feel disappointed in getting fired from that job, that marriage falling apart, that deal falling through, whatever it is. Allow that pain so that you can then, because it's only through feeling the pain of the 3 cups down that you could then recognize the 2 cups that are still standing and bring yourself to a new stage with the Princess of Cups. Now, this is a new stage. This is a new offering. The last advice card, Tower. This is a powerful advice card, man. This is great. Because the Tower is about, okay, where have you been getting in your way? Now, I want to go back to the Pride card, because pride's never a good combination with money or career, ever. Right? It's just not. To be prideful, you don't want that. So the Tower energy is like, all right, where have you maybe been getting in your own way? Going back to, as I always say with the Tower card, when we're dealing with it on an internal level, if we keep doing what we did, we're going to keep getting what we got, all of us. Tower is Mars, and Mars is obsessed with putting us where we're supposed to be. Tower is like, nope, I put up the red flags, all of that, you didn't pay attention, going along your path, maybe you sensed them, maybe you didn't, doesn't matter. Now it's like, all right, we need to revamp internally how you are approaching a situation regarding finances here. So whether this has to do with a project, the selling of something, an investment, a career, the changing of something, whatever it is, there needs to be a change in perspective. But whatever's gone on here for you, Taurus, has been a gift. It's serendipities at play, 4-leaf clover. You have so many blessings on the other side of this. But the advice here is you have to see, where is your pride? Where are you getting in your own way? Where do you need to make the change so that this new beginning can happen? If something hurt you, let the hurt wash over you. That's necessary in order to incite the new cycle. But you also have to allow the change to happen. Allow something that fell apart, but understand that in the falling apart of something, you need to kind of go in and revamp the way you're approaching this whole idea. Look at this. This is the outcome energy. We have the as above, so below card, feeling grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. That is your truth. I mean, really, Queen of Swords is all about being very self-sufficient and being totally honest at the same time. Not looking to anybody else to solve any problems. Not looking to anybody else to take care of you. Very self-sufficient energy. We have the Queen of Swords working with the Queen of Cups. Very powerful message. When we get a double court card, one right after the other like this is powerful. We have the Swords and we have the Cups. And what is the Queen of Swords? Yes, it's the Queen of Cups, rather. Yes, it's a very nurturing energy. It's very healing. It's very supportive. But it is, in astrology, it's Gemini in Cancer. And it's having that conversation about, what do you really need to feel very grounded and at home in something? Well, you're getting what you need to feel safe and secure, but at home in something. Now, to get the Queen and Queen like this can indicate a really positive business partnership. This could indicate hiring a really effective attorney. This could indicate you just getting really hardcore in touch with your truth and what you feel at home in. And not even wasting your energy in anything that doesn't completely speak to you. Ace of Swords is the final card, mental clarity. It's all going to make sense for you. But this is a new idea. This is new. This is new. So again, the Queens, because the court energies, guys, the court cards can always be you, another energy, or just a general energetic influence, okay? Now, typically, the Queen and the King do indicate other people or opportunity. So if we look at it like that, this is some sort of opportunity coming into you from another person that's going to end up really being very nurturing, that's going to be very speak into your truth, and that's going to allow you to be very self-sufficient. But you're going to feel so clear on it. Like, almost like, how did I not do this a long time ago kind of thing? Or delivering some sort of truth. Culmination as well. So the truth of a situation coming to light. So it looks good. It doesn't look easy, but it looks good. So that is what we have for you for there. Okay. So let's go into relationship now. Our Taurus friends. Okay, we're going to start with you in relationship. Where you're at now. Guys, now remember, these are general messages. Everybody's different at different ages and stages. It's not going to resonate with all of you. So take with them. Sometimes, even if it doesn't totally resonate, sometimes some messages will resonate with us. You know, take what resonates throughout the rest. I'm trying to make it fit. And you definitely want to check your rising sun, moon sign, and Venus sign when it comes to relationship, especially your moon and your, well, actually all of them. People ask me that a lot. What do I check first? Well, with relationship, you know, I would say check your rising, then your moon, then your sun, then your Venus. Because those are really more what we feel the strongest when it comes to relationship. All right. So we have, where are you at right now? Right now you're in your high priestess mode. Taurus, yes. Trusting your intuition, trusting yourself, setting your ducks up in a row. You got a lot cranking behind those eyes, between the ears, having to do with the relationship right now, but you're really not doing a lot of talking. You're not. You're keeping something to yourself. Some of you may be in a very secretive relationship as well. The high priestess in relationship can show up as that if you're in some sort of secret love affair. But there's this idea of secret that's associated with whatever you're in right now energetically, Taurus. So you may be feeling a lot of things, you know, not really talking. Well, what is it you're thinking about? We have the Page of Pentacles. So the page is always a new cycle. And Pentacle, when we're dealing with relationship reads, it's mental, physical, emotional connection. So you might be dealing with just like a new connection, a new cycle within connection. But there's a level, there's an idea of patience about this. We have that working with the Judgment energy, and the Judgment is just about clarity and a final decision. It's a wake-up call, dealing with the past, recognizing your life's purpose. And you might be in the space of like, what am I doing and what I'm doing here right now? You know, just really feeling very called to start this new cycle in your life, having to do with whether it's a mental connection, physical connection, or emotional connection. Pentacle energy in relationship, and that understanding, I feel like, is so particularly important to understand in light of COVID more than anything, right? Because we are making a lot, just as a collective, right? As a collective, you know, we're all making a lot of strong connections online. So that's not physical, right? That could be a mental connection, emotional connection, right? A lot of conversing going on there. And then we have this working with the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is mental clarity and just seeing things very differently. The Ace of Swords is a very, very positive card. It actually puts a positive spin on any minor arcanas in the deck, that in the spread, that might be a little challenging. So I do like that. I feel like you're going to be realizing, I mean, the Judgment energy too, going back to the Judgment, because this is just like, I don't want to just like sneeze at that. It's a major arcana. It's Pluto energy as well. It's about transformation. And it's about forgiving. And it's about realizing that whatever's gone on up to this point, everybody did the best they knew how. And it's a release. You see in this picture how she's releasing herself. She's releasing anything that she's like done wrong, wherever she's maybe made missteps in relationships, anything like that. It's like, I did what I knew to do. I did the best that I knew how to do in the moment. Maybe in retrospect, I should have handled things differently. But in the moment, I didn't have any malice in my heart. I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I let myself be in that relationship because I thought it was the right thing for me at the time. Right, you know what I'm saying? It's this idea of release. and releasing everybody in the situation. And it's almost like it's just coming to you. All of a sudden, there's this clarity that you're going to be experiencing in this. And you just want a new cycle. So a lot of this like forgiveness and release, I feel like is happening on a very internal level. Now let me see what your block is. So we have the first block up is the wheel. So the wheel is about allowing this turning point, taking this chance. So you might be very scared to take a chance on something right now, Taurus. Your challenge here also might be staying very much in the mental and not allowing your emotions to kick in. Not the easiest thing, right? I mean, the King of Swords is about being very strategic and very, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. That might be a little hard to do when you might have a lot of emotions circling, right? Depends on what else you have in your chart, but, you know, it does seem like that. We have the Eight of Wands. I feel like this is the only reversal that we have in the whole spread. We have the Eight of Wands, though. It's about feeling very frustrated, right? Feeling like there are a lot of delays in relationship that you're having to deal with, and just feeling kind of stuck. Now, this could be because you're waiting for somebody to call you. Maybe you're waiting for somebody to reach out. You're waiting for somebody to communicate something specific to you right now. Especially because we have this block with taking a chance on something. Maybe you feel like you're waiting for some more information to come in. You're waiting for somebody to contact you. You're waiting to hear from somebody. But it's stressing you out. We get the Five of Swords. So Five of Swords is kind of like a bullying energy. It can even be like verbally abusive, mentally abusive kind of conflict. Five is conflict, right? Swords are truth and words, and that could be blocking you. So maybe you're in conflict with somebody who you're in relationship right now, and you're waiting to hear from them. So maybe you guys had an argument, right? And you're waiting to hear from them. And not a comfortable energy by any stretch. But at the same time, I feel like it's like whatever discord is making you stuck here, it's lending some sort of clarity for you, which is interesting. So let's look at your advice. Okay. Feel your pain, my friend. Nine of Swords is I mean, that's what it's nightmares, it's anxiety, it's grief, depression, right? But what is Nine of Swords really? The Nine of Swords is Mars and Gemini. So the Gemini is the swords, it's the truth. Mars is, okay, seriously, like, where do you belong? What's the right thing for you? So for you to really kind of lean into the pain and figure out, is this the right thing for you? Because that's what, again, not to be repetitive, but that's what Mars is totally focused on. Like, what is right for you? Because if it's not right for you, what does Mars do? Mars gives us the Tower and takes it down. So it's being really so the advice here is be really, really honest, even in the light of however upset you might feel right now, any sort of depression, anxiety. It's understanding that discomfort is happening for a reason, and it's for you to look at something that might not be working. The advice here is Three of Wands, Sun in Aries, look into the future. Don't focus on the past. Looking totally at the future and understanding that, to be honest with you, this is about being back and forth by the future, by another energy, by understanding how much you bring to the table, by really recognizing what it is that you offer to a situation. We have that working with some success here. Now, the Six of Wands is good news coming in. It's good news. And it's taking that good news and taking those accolades and taking the attention or the admiration from another person and really hugging that and understanding that this is something that you need to think about. That if somebody is telling you that you're really great, don't ignore that, because your energies are still sort of ensnarled in something else that might end up being not the best thing for you. Let yourself feel the pain. Feel the pain of something that's not working. Look, keep focusing on the Three of Cups of energy as long as you have to, meaning the 3 cups that are spilt. So the 5 of Cups means being very, very focused on loss, regret, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. Focus on the 3 cups that are spilt for as long as you have to. But understand that there are still 2 cups standing. And that's what you bring to a relationship, what you have to offer. So focus as long as you need to on feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. Let that wash over you so that you could just put it behind you, and then you could focus on the 2 cups that are still standing, and then offer yourself to somebody else. Because I do see somebody is going to be reaching out. There's no question these 2 center energies are you being called forth by somebody else, but do you see it is the idea here. So allowing this to happen. We have the Chariot as the first card up for the outcome. The Chariot is about action and change and leaving whatever hasn't been working in the past. And just going towards that, the Chariot in astrology is connected to Cancer. And Cancer is all about that home space, metaphorical home. Some of you literally, the outcome here could be maybe you're going back to live with a family member or something like that, right? Because the Chariot, again, it's a Cancer energy, so it's connected to home, so it could have literally to do with home. But a lot of times it's just that metaphorical home space, leaving something that you aren't meant to be in and going towards something that you are actually meant to be in, that's meant for you on your path. Second card up here we have is the Queen of Pentacles. This is being very resourceful, focusing on growing yourself, focusing on just taking care of yourself, right? Queen is all about connection, right? Queens are always connections. Pentacle is mental, physical, emotional connection. So make connections, seek out friends, focus on your work, hang with allow some new energies, allow the romance of a situation, and even if you feel like you don't quite belong in it, even if it's uncomfortable, right? Because the 8 of Swords is like, this is self-imposed imprisonment and restriction. It's like, I don't feel comfortable doing this. This feels weird to me, but the Strength is all about romance. Strength is a Leo energy. This is fifth house of romance, of fun, falling in love, giving it a chance. And it might start out as a friendship, because the Leos are all about that, right? Might start out as a friend, but make the connections even if you don't feel comfortable, because you do have to, it is indicated here that you have to move away from something that's pretty toxic for you. That's what I'm seeing here. And I know, I'm sorry if this is, guys, listen, if this is not your reading, because this is pretty specific, please don't try to make it fit. You're going to know if this is your reading or not, because this is very specific. Okay, I don't know whose energy I'm tapping into here. Okay, so let's see. That is for you. Now let's see what's going on with the energy that you're dealing with. Six of Wands, the Wheel, 4, Yeah, I mean, right now, they're confused. They're confused. I mean, they want a successful relationship. This is good news coming in, and this good news, communication coming into them. Something that makes them feel really good. That can be, I don't know if you're dealing with somebody who is communicating with somebody else. Taurus, I don't know, but the Six of Wands energy is the card of success. But it's good news coming in, and it's somebody giving them accolades, like, oh, you're so fabulous, kind of thing, right? But then we have this energy of the Two of Coins, which is two choices and needing to weigh options. You don't want to be an option, but this is what the energies are telling me here. So, you know, this could certainly be, yeah, I mean, if it's not a person, it could. I just feel like there's information coming in that they're very focused on, that's coming external of the relationship, and it's causing them to become confused. So maybe they're finding out that they got a job, and they're like, I don't know if I want to still stay here and be in this relationship, or if I need to move, or some sort of information coming in about some other part of their life, and creating some sense of confusion within the relationship. We have this working with the Queen of Coins energy, though. This is about connecting mentally, physically, emotionally. And then we have the Eight of Coins. The Eight of Coins is the card of mastery. So you might be dealing with somebody who's just totally focused on their work and enjoying their work and throwing themselves into work. But this could also be the way they're very focused on how to actually make a connection work. But yet they're confused. I feel like they're between two spaces here. They're between two spaces. They might be trying to figure out how could they also be in the relationship with you while handling their job or this other situation that's going on in their life. Maybe there's something going on with their children, or there's something going on in another part of their life, and they're trying to master and figure out how to actually work it all out, how to balance it, if there's not another person involved. But their block, the block is the Wheel. So the block being the Wheel, I mean, they're being blocked by good luck here, right? They're being blocked in their ability to recognize that this is a turning point and that they need to take a chance on something. We have this with the Page of Coins, clarified by the Page of Coins. Page is always about a new cycle, right? So Page of Coins can be this new job. So, you know, if this is some sort of opportunity where they're trying to figure out, you know, should I move, or will I be able to do all of it? Part of the block could certainly be this new job, because the Page of Coins is a new job, you know, for sure. Money news coming in. This could also have to do with a situation having to do with one of their children, and a situation having to do with one of their kids, doesn't matter how old they are, is serving as a block to the situation within the relationship. And then finally, this could have to do with a new mental, physical, or emotional connection that's creating a block for them, though. It's not like they're running off with them. I mean, it's like just the energy of that is blocking them. We have the Ace of Wands as a blocked energy as well. So there's this block in being able to be creative and have this new approach with the situation. It's like their passion is blocked, their will is blocked, the desire for something is blocked, and their ability to be fair is blocked, and patient, to have balance, to have cooperation. They're not able to do this right now. It's like their energy is blocked in this way. Being able to do it. The advice here, though, is, you know, the Fool energy is the first step. The advice here is you have to take a chance. You have to go on a new path. This is all about a new beginning. But in order to do that, what do they need to do? They have to make a decision. They have to compromise. And they have to really look at and really get in touch with this Hangman energy. The Hangman is a fine energy. The Hangman is about, you know, pressing the pause button on something to get a different perspective. So the advice here is press the pause button, look at everything, but don't hang out there that long, because you really do need to make a decision. And you have to compromise. But it's like there's this level of discomfort that they're experiencing within this connection that has something to do with them feeling in one way or another that they're going to have to sacrifice something. And they need to get in touch with that and shine a floodlight on it and really look at that. Because if they're worried that, anything to do with their finances, anything to do with anything, right? Because Neptune can fog up the reality of anything that could get in the way of the reality of a situation. They have to really get in touch with that, because if they can press the pause button, breathe, just hang out in deep introspection for a few minutes, I feel like this is really what's going to be helpful to them, because the final advice here is giving and receiving help and then being generous. So they may be challenged with that. They might not be very willing to be very generous. They might be a little immature with their money as well. Or they might feel like they need money for other things in their life, and they're not willing to join forces with you as far as finances go in order to build the life that you guys might want. But even if it doesn't have to do with money at all, because coins is mental, physical, emotional connection. So when we get the 6 of coins for relationship, it's about giving and receiving mental, physical, and emotional connection. And it's being generous in that way. So they need to be more of that. That's the advice energy here. They have to take a different approach. If they're not showing up in a very strong and obvious way in the relationship, Taurus, this is what they need to focus on, right? What we have is the outcome energy. We have the Knight of Swords. So for them, there's going to be conflict here, because the Knight is about truth. Fast talking energy coming in and serving up the truth and being like laying it on the line. This is reality. And it ends up inciting a lifestyle change. So this can show up as kind of like an ultimatum. Absolutely. But then we have that working with the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is like stress. It's just feeling very burdened. Feeling overwhelmed. It's the card of overwhelm. 10 of Wands. Is it feeling very overwhelmed by the truth of a situation? It's not making them feel like... How can I say this? So if they're in a situation with you, Taurus, I feel like you've been patient, because you are Taurus. Taurus is a very patient energy, very patient. But you've been very patient and no more. Like, you're not letting them get away with something anymore. And I'm not even saying they're doing anything for malice. Maybe they just don't know how to change something. They don't want to deal with the discord or the struggle of something. It could play out a bunch of different ways. But we have them here with the 4 of Swords. And the 4 of Swords is an interesting, because it's a retreat and a renewal energy. Trying to figure something out very specifically in relationship, right? Because this is Jupiter in Libra, and Jupiter expands whatever it's in. So think about Libra. What is Libra? Libra is ruled by Venus. It's about fairness within relationship. So as this person is sort of, retreating and they're thinking about fairness in the relationship. Have they been fair? Have you been fair? What is love like? Does everybody feel good about themselves in this connection? Or are finances equitable? All of this. That's the 4 of Swords energy, is figuring that relationship stuff out, that 7th house energy. Knight of Coins is the final card. So the Knight of Coins is a very reliable energy. It really is. It's a very patient mental, physical, emotional connection. Being super patient. So I feel like this is what they need to do here. This is what they're going to end up doing. They're going to end up being in a space where they're going to try to figure things out, and they're going to try to be very, very patient with the situation. Taurus, I almost feel like, for those of you who are resonating with this, I almost feel like this is a good person, but first of all, they might have a lot of obligations in other parts of their life, and they have a hard time with balance. It's like more than a certain amount of things, they get easily overwhelmed or easily become very what is that word, fluxed or in flux, or what, very flustered I think is what I'm looking for, when they're dealing with anything that they feel like is, and this doesn't make them a bad person, it just makes them easily flustered and a little weak when it comes to being able to make decisions. and a little too worried about maybe the wrong things or things that they don't need to worry so much about. Now, you know, they'll be patient, but will you be waiting? I don't know about that. I just don't know. Tarot and astrology cannot take into account human choice, right? Be suspect of anybody who tells you otherwise. That's all I could say. All right, so let's see what we have here for the Island Time Wellness. Let's just pull some final cards here. So we have the Chaser in a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues, working with the Axe. Breakup, separation, stopping the pattern, abandonment, silent treatment. And we have Kisses, unconditional loving, giving and receiving affection, working with not enough, frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear or ego issues. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is them. It's like they're not a bad person, but what they're giving is kind of like not enough for you. And not even that bar is set so high, but it's like they can't restructure their priorities in a way that you feel like they're showing up enough in the relationship. Then we have passion and seeing chemistry, like each other, equally having fun, working with karmic relationship, fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go. Then we have talking, interested, conversing more, awaited message arrives, text, call, email. And then we have that working with engagement ring, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, union. Okay. So it does seem like this situation may have been karmic. But meaning, because interested, conversing more, awaited message, and then engagement ring. You know, for some of you, it's going to be working this out and bringing it to that deeper point. For others of you, I see you meeting somebody new. I'm getting both of them equally as much. So I feel like you're going to know intuitively which side of the fence you fall. Like if you're totally done with waiting for this person, really, like it kind of, you know, you have feelings for them, but it kind of doesn't even matter what they say at this point because you're not going to believe them. Then you're going to know that this would indicate you meeting somebody new. But if you're still in that sort of in-between space, there are these lessons that you have to learn, and I guess you have to still maybe learn them, right? Because it's karmic. Karmic is, you know, these lessons. Not comfortable lessons to learn, right? Oh my gosh, right? We all go through it in one way or another, right? Okay, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to breathe this week, especially in the 19th, 20th, especially you, my Taurus friends. Yes. It's going to be fine at the end. It's just going to be trippy energy this week. That's all. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. See you next time. Bye-bye.